Ladies and gentlemen, grab your forks and knives, but please leave your seriousness at the door. You're tuned into The Adult Potato, where the news is as mashed and buttery as the spuds on your plate. Today, I, Ophelia, your waitress with the mostest, am here to remind you that everything you're about to hear is served with a heaping side of chucklesome cornbread, which is the whoopee cushion of any meal. Trish, our intrepid reporter, might be chatting up the locals at a retro 50s diner. But remember, folks, Wellington, Colorado, and its quirky citizens are just a playful garnish on our satirical dish. So, loosen your belts, chuckle at your own risk, and for heaven's sake, don't take us more seriously than your grandma's meatloaf recipe. Don't forget to tip your server and bon appetit.
Thanks for meeting me for lunch, Trish. I am just so sick of the bullshit.
Sure thing, Dawn. Glad to do it. And thanks for all the work you do for us. It helps to have someone on the outside feeding us stuff.
Happy to help, but man, this last trustee meeting, I was beyond disappointed with the way things went down. And I'll get you some info on the animal control thing later. That was a clusterfuck as well. But Ashley really put herself out there to bring light to some shitty things that have been happening, especially the threats and bullying from teats.
I understand. We're all pretty surprised that it went down like that. I mean, we have the bar set pretty low, but not holding teats responsible for her post saying to not vote for a specific trustee, using her name, brought that bar even lower. I really expected more from the mayor.
So many people warned me about her, but I thought she was just harmless and dim-witted. But she is next-level dingbat. And you gotta love how she plays a victim of innuendos. And you know innuendos only work when you believe that they are about you, which actually means that there is truth to it. And then she specifically names somebody in a post saying not to vote for them. And thinks it's the same thing. And here's the other thing. According to the CIRSA presentation a year ago, you are always speaking as a trustee, 24/7. So to pull that First Amendment bullshit saying she's speaking as an individual, yeah, that doesn't work.
She was probably doodling through the CIRSA presentation.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. And she's the one that's been fucking bullying people by threatening recalls left and right if, they don't vote a certain way. God, she's the worst. Everyone thinks she's Susie Sunshine, but she's quite the piece of work to do what she did the other night.
Oh, and she's got to be coached by Christine Gator. Christine yelled out from the audience, and Teets repeated it immediately.
Yeah, good point. That's why I yelled out something afterwards. If the mayor had said a single word about that after not gaveling Christine, I would have gone after him with a vengeance. He's been really good about keeping things in check up until this meeting. And of course, it's after Gator had some sort of words with him. And everyone talks about compromise instead of the majority vote, but their compromises are shit. The only thing they ever want to do is take food off people's plates. It's like they don't want people to succeed just because they're not making the same money that the town leaders are making. There's no way they could do that job. It takes a high level of trust, and none of them could ever have that.
It's typical. Talk about lack of compromise rather than coming up with new ideas. What they don't realize is that the trustees are compromising by not increasing what staff is asking for. That's the compromise. Is that what needs to happen so they realize that approving something as is actually a compromise?
Their idea of compromising is telling people that they can't self-identify their gender on a stupid town survey and then trying to strip that survey of anything that had the word diversity in it. You can't compromise by taking away the identity of residents of Wellington. You can't compromise by taking away the voice of the marginalized, whether it's for income or the color of your skin or age or whatever.
They choose to bitch about their version of compromising instead of actually coming up with something new. The only thing they've come up with is banning books and accusing the library of peddling pornography.
Okay, let's go through this post that she put on her page because, oh God, it's ridiculous. Thank God someone took a screenshot and shared it.
Definitely.
All right, here's where it starts. I've been asked by many already, so I will put this out here as I'm entitled due to this beautiful country and my constitutional right.
Asked by so many. That's rich.
I 100% do not and will not support Rebecca Daly for re-election.
I can't believe that's not a SIRSA violation, but okay.
There have been so many times where the want to praise town staff overruled better judgment related to the town, our residents, and whose voice she is truly representing.
I don't even know what that means.
I think what she's trying to say is that the act of praising the town staff somehow ended up harming the town.
Okay, well, that was a weird word salad, but whatever.
The track record on voting speaks volumes.
Heck yes. Thank God we have her on there to vote for the majority of what this town represents rather than the incredibly loud minority. And let's remember that the majority of votes in 2023 have been unanimous. So looks like she's cherry-picking a few things.
Good point. Most of the votes from this board have been unanimous. All right, back to the post. It's very easy to look up voting records and watch town meetings via YouTube if you have questions.
Definitely look them up. She's got nothing to hide, and she does a great job of voting on things that matter to the center of what the town believes. Man, she's dog whistling up a storm here.
Exactly. Oh, here's the fun part. The constant allegations and twisting of words experienced in meetings divides the community when the whole should be working to bring balance for our residents.
That is hysterical. You have people on the board calling people porno peddlers and saying that the word diversity is dividing the community, but the person that works loudest to be inclusive of every member of our community is being called divisive. Talk about projection. Man, she's digging deep for that one.
And how does threatening trustees with recalls bring balance for our residents? God, I can't believe I bought into her godly small town girl bullshit. I had at least 6 people come up to me and warn me about her, but until I see something with my own eyes, I give people the benefit of the doubt. Well, like they say, when someone shows you who they are, believe it. And she showed herself all right.
Sorry you had to take your rose-colored glasses off, but glad you're seeing what's out there.
I love how Rebecca doesn't give a shit. She knows that most people have seen through Teets's motives a long time ago. I was just late to the party.
Very true. But what about Ashley? She really put it on the line and let us know what's been happening.
God, I have so much respect for that woman. Her kids have a great mom to look up to. She knew that she'd catch a bunch of shit for being honest, but she did the right thing. She knew she'd be nailed to the fucking cross for it, but she absolutely did it anyway because her integrity meant more than the daggers that would come afterwards.
She risked a lot by doing what she did, and I, for one, am damned proud of her. I'm really disappointed that the mayor let so much slide, especially the recall stuff.
Probably because Teets was threatening him with a recall too.
But I can literally not say enough about Ashley. She's a rock star.
Agreed.
Big government politics playing out in Little Wellington. Well, I guess it's part of their playbook now. But you have to ignore the recall stuff.
She's got a pair in her that are bigger than anyone else on that board. You know, I had a few people ask me to look at recalling Teets in the beginning, but I needed something concrete, and they couldn't come up with anything. And they wouldn't be able to come up with anything against the mayor or the other trustees either. Just because your church friends will vote with you doesn't mean the rest of the town will.
This is what happens when you live in a world of confirmation bias.
We need to get people in this town to wake up and start voting, or the Gators and Teets and their ministers are going to have all of us living under their own version of Sharia law. Just exchange one holy book with another holy book. It's the same thing, just a different name.
We need to support the candidates that represent the majority, not the small number that are making all the noise. Most people in this town don't even go to the churches here. We have 12,000 people living here, and they sure as hell don't go to our little churches, if they go to church at all.
It's time to wake people up. I'm ready. How about you?
I was fucking born ready. Let's do this.
I was just wondering if you lovely ladies were going to talk all afternoon, or could I expect a food order in the near future?